Hi, my name is John Petty, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Growing Up in Flip-Flops. When I was growing up, the one thing we did not eat in our house was chicken. Chicken in any form. Chicken noodle soup, chicken and dumplings, fried chicken, roasted chicken, whatever. Any part of the chicken we did not eat, and we did not have it in any form whatsoever. Well, what else did we eat? We had anything and everything except chicken, and obviously we had orange juice. Well, why didn't we have chicken in our house? It had nothing to do with cost or difficulty in cooking. It had to do with a vow that my mother had taken as a child. Growing up on a Missouri farm, my mother had had a pet chicken, and one Sunday, the local pastor came to visit. Her mother said, "Well, let us fix you something for lunch." Well, you guessed it, the only chicken in the yard that they could catch easily was my mother's pet chicken. They had other chickens, but obviously the pet chicken was used to being around humans and saw no danger when a human approached it. But they caught my mother's pet chicken. And as a young girl, she made the comment that if you kill my chicken, I will never eat chicken again the rest of my life. They killed the chicken, and we never had chicken in our house. The only time I ever had chicken was going to some potluck or picnic somewhere, and somebody brought a bucket of KFC. That was it. Now, going back, this may seem really harsh on my mother's part, that she held obviously this animus, this grudge, all the way into her adult life, where she would not cook or serve chicken in her house. Well, that might be, but one thing I learned long ago was if you want to reinforce a behavior or dissuade a behavior, the strongest reinforcement to do that is through food. Obviously, this was a very distressing, traumatic event for my mother. It was reinforced that there was no way on God's earth she was going to eat or prepare chicken ever again. She held to that. If you want another example of my mother's steadfastness in when she said something that she believed, go listen to another episode entitled Moving the Fence. And that's a little bit stronger than not eating or cooking or serving chicken in our house. Now, the humorous little postscript to this entire thing is my sister and I had asked for some sort of a pet in the house. She would not get us a dog or a cat. It was just going to be too much trouble. But we went out to some rural friends, and guess what we got? We got a couple chicks. My sister and I had a couple pet chickens. This was before the current craze of people having chickens in their backyard for eggs, and we had pet chickens. The craziest thing, my sister and I taught the chickens different tricks. They could jump up on top of one another's backs, eat corn from the other's back. It just funny little stuff. It's just interesting how sometimes life makes a full circle, and my mother's pet chickens and the trauma she had as a child, well, we ended up with pet chickens in a urban area. I never knew of the chickens getting up and crowing at the sunrise or anything, but it was just an interesting thing. I never knew about my mother's problem with cooking chicken or eating chicken until probably I was in high school. And she told the story probably after I asked one time of, God, I'd really like some fried chicken or something. Why don't you do it? And she probably told that story at that time. I will tell you, to this day, I don't have any great hunger for chicken. It's something I didn't grow up around. It was not something that was really tied to a pleasant childhood memory that, oh my goodness, that yeah, that chicken was so delicious or something like that. I remember, boy, can I have something like that? It's just something we never had, and I guess you don't know what you're missing if you never had it. Again, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you.